Hi all and welcome to the Truth, Honour and Integrity Show. It seems a few of you are struggling to get on the link of this show. It's no surprise. They're getting a bit pissy. But this is the show that never disappoints. It's the most talked about show on the internet, the most bashed show and host. And yeah, here we all are, despite a plethora of promises to take us down. And yet, despite all that, we've added over 550 members to the Facebook page this week, near 600 to YouTube this week, and over 100 members to MeWe in the past week. And we've also increased the subscribers to the People's Club and also my Patreon. You know, they may not like us, but they can't ignore us. Plus, this show single-handedly keeps the alt media clowns very busy with their own special brand of clownery, and so provides an important service. And as for those in that field, I hope you all enjoyed your $5,000 blood money from the General to stop us being heard or just to slander us, because that, like all other plans, has failed. And also your email extortion attempts aimed at me this week won't work either. All the information has been passed on to the authorities and is more ammunition for future legal proceedings. And yes, we know exactly where it came from and also who initiated it. Oops. And all it proves is we are right over the target, so thank you for that verification. So our shows are specifically designed to trigger latent memories and for you to find out who you really are, re-energizing your DNA and PSI fields, rediscovering lost frequencies, love-based frequencies, and the phasing out of low vibrational fields we have all been kept in for a long time. I'm not here to be popular or to be liked, because what we are doing here is far more important for us all, even the alt media, denial experts, and the clowns. I finally got round to doing part 2 of the People's Club video, which is now completed and up on the website for people to view, learn, absorb, and subsequently teach. This is all about the cooperative model, which is for business, but also it's a psychological and social model. Part 3 is being done as we speak by other members, so look forward to that. It might be useful for all state groups and country groups to play that as part of their next call, so everyone gets to learn about it and also chat about it and see where improvements can be made or anything else can be learned. You know, we're all in this together. And what have we got for this show? Not a lot of news, not a lot of sub-intel, and 0 op-eds tonight. It will be a shorter show to have more impact of what is to be said after we do the introductions. I may do another show with the op-eds and pieces cut out of tonight's show tomorrow. We'll see if time allows. Now, I want to thank again the people who have continued to support me via my Patreon, and I am very grateful for all of your support. I also want to thank the people who have donated to the People's Club in record numbers for the last 4 months running now, and it will all go to good causes. And a reminder to those who are new and also the hard of hearing, no director of the TPC or Kim has received any funds from the TPC to date. And I also want to thank some, I don't want to mention names because of the clownery that's going on. You'll know who you are, who sent in some or whole portions of their stimulus checks to the People's Club this week as well. Thanks to you all. Now, it's been an interesting week with the Zoom with the members last Thursday, after last Thursday's show, and was followed up by another Zoom call on Saturday with Kim. Live on air, and clearly not dead, clearly not a man, destitute, on the street, or an AI. And Kim wants to thank you all. She had a fantastic time with you all. And from her point of view, it's refreshing to hear her talk to people with common sense and are willing to do, not just talk. You have no idea the levels of stupidity on some of the calls Kim has to deal with. It's beyond comprehension. So she had a fantastic time with you all and hopes to do it again soon. But as per usual, and it's not just about this one person, this is about a larger problem. You know, there was 3 hours of packed information on that Zoom call, and people were allowed to ask whatever questions they wanted. And yet some want to focus attention on the private life of one person out of near 300. You know, ignoring safety issues, ignoring that person's privacy, and a complete lack of non-thinking. But then you know which group that person belongs to now. And it's all too predictable. But perhaps he can explain to his new friends how a 3,400 bottle of wine tastes from the Rothschilds. But it's not about covering things up, you know, or that person in general. Like I said, this is about a wider problem of non-thinking, and it goes across all levels. You know, our show delivers more real information than any other on the internet. I can say that. I'm not bragging. It's a fact, you know, but some people's thinking patterns are all still in the gutter and at mainstream media levels. They look for faults. They look for the smallest levels of inconsistencies to prove me and the show wrong. But they're totally missing the point. We're looking for solutions to our problems, not create more. Not tittle-tattle of who's who, who's sleeping with who, who's in the inner circle. It's all wrong thinking. It's a distraction on mainstream media levels. What does prying into people's private lives achieve? Nothing. Whether it's someone from THI, whether it's some so-called famous people on TV, it doesn't solve our problems, and that is where I'm coming from with this. It's not about hiding information, but I feel it's important to protect the people who are on or in the firing line. And I will continue to do so for Kim, Ava, and anyone else who's a part of the solutions. And if people don't like that, go back to the TV world. You'll find plenty of that BS to gorge your tiny thinking minds on. And people really don't think enough about our security, the threats we get put under, the conditions we work under, and yet want me to expose their private details of one of the few people who is willing to sacrifice part of their life for the greater good. Well, to use Kim's term, I promise you that's not happening. Not on my watch, it ain't. You know, it boggles the mind. So as a test, I engaged the person wanting that non-relevant information and made a point of mentioning I would like some private details of that person's wife and mentioned her name. And he went completely ballistic and called me nasty. Well, touche to that person, as my point was made. You don't pry into other people's lives if you don't wish others to pry into yours. It's not going anywhere. And as for Operation Takedown, this is kind of fitting. Indeed. So is this an exercise, the coronavirus? Is it real or is it not? Has the clarity of the two worlds now become also clear? Are we operating in the gaming virtual world or the real world? Which is which? All the MK Ultra that is going on now. It's not just for super soldiers, it was for everyone. Throw in some frequencies and you have a population of bot or sheep-like people. And essentially you have a recipe for disaster for those that see the illusion they are playing. But the key question is, for everyone now, is how much of your freedoms will you give away for safety? This is the latest tactic. And what has become quite clear, or should have become quite clear now, if people really think, they will all realise you're all on your own. But you know what? We always were. We rarely get no help from anyone. None of it. It's just the illusion of it. So this is an opportunity for people to realise that and come together and support each other, not compete with each other. This is our time. We were always on our own. And it's a case of weaning off the nanny state, or do we go to the next level of the nanny state, which will be live Hunger Games? Yours and our choice to make.